Alrighty, what is going on? We're going to be going over October week 2 bullish tickers. Here's the list that I've pulled from Monday through Friday of this past week. What data are we collecting? Collecting the start time of the bullish move, the high of day, and total time in between. So an example of this would be, this is what I'd be deeming a bullish move. Here's the start, here's the end, here's the total time between them. We're also going to be looking at price data. So we're looking at, we're not going to do the open price this time around again. We're going to be looking at the price at the start of the run, the price at the end of the run, and then the total difference between the two. Here's a list. Something I want to point out to myself is there are bullish moves that have two legs to them, and I separated them. If there was enough time in between moves, so for example, Buru here, Mints here, SRFM, CDT. What I wanted to do as far as my trading style goes is I like to trade individual legs. I don't really hold for super long time, so I want to see per leg how much is this thing moving, and then when it settles back again and pushes again, I would classify that as a separate run. So with that being said, we have 16, not total tickers, but 16 legs that we had in this market. So with that data, we have the start time before 9:35, 9 of them did this. Start time from 9:35 to 10:0, and start time after 10:7. So to me, we're either ripping in the morning. The first leg is usually early on, as soon as the bell opens. We have a down period between 9:35 and 10. This would be the exhaustion of the push. This is probably where it's settling, and then it's pushing again after 10. So 56% of the time, we're seeing stuff run in the first 5 minutes. So for time, we have 1 of these stocks hit high of day, 6 of them hit high of day before 10, 3 of them from 10 to 10:30, 2 from 10:30 to 11, and 5 after 11. So again, we're seeing more hit it before 10 and after 11. So from 10 to 11 is kind of like things are settling down a little bit, in my opinion. So we're getting stuff that is hitting high day around 9:45, 10. It's pushing back down, consolidating, and then pushing again. So 10 o'clock being probably right here, 11 o'clock being here. So this is kind of like what we're seeing. There's been a lot of this types of price action in the market. Yeah, so 56% of the stocks hit high day before 10:30. So now we're going to look at total move from start to finish of each leg. We have 1 under 15 minutes, 8 from 15 to 30, 3 from 30 to 45 minutes, 1 from 45 to 60, and 3 more than 60. Here's where most of them lie, 15 to 30 minutes. This has been typical range for the most part. So most moves last under 30 minutes, 56% of the time. Now we're going to look at the actual percent gain of each one. So out of 16, only 1 was under 25%. 10 were from 25 to 50%, 1 from 50 to 75, 3 from 75 to 100, and 1 over 100%. So again, we're in this range of 25 to 50. The average of all the moves was 49%. But we're going to pretty much stay, within 30 to 40%, I would say, is a good point. So if I'm adding into a position and I'm up 20, 30%, it's time to at least start selling some. This market right now isn't extremely hot. We did trend towards more bullishness towards the end of the week, but still going to kind of keep things tight in that respect. So if we're putting it all together, 56% of the stocks run before 10 a.m., 56% of the stocks at high day before 10:30, 75% of the bullish moves are under 45 minutes. And then the average bullish move is 49%. So what this is telling me is to continue playing from 9:30, or not playing, but continue trading from 9:30 to 10. Once that hits high day and starts to kind of pull back, we're going to wait a little bit and maybe re-add later in the day. Comparing this to last week, so these numbers are this week, these numbers are previous week before. We had 83% of stocks run before 10 a.m. This has gone down. I think we're getting more extended moves later in the day. 56 compared to 58% hit high day before 10:30. This is fairly the same. Again, I think most of the best moves are early in the morning. Sometimes we get super extended moves later in the day, but those are harder to predict and harder to come by. And then 75% of bullish moves are under 45 minutes. Only 50% 2 weeks ago were under 45 minutes. This is telling me that the market's shorter time span of when the price action is going. I don't know why I didn't change this. That's my B. This should be 40. Average bullish move was 49% compared to 39%. To be fair, 39% is extremely low from 2 weeks ago. I think the market was extremely tough. This week I think was a little easier, but still not the best. So I think we're trending more towards bullishness. And now we're going to look at the market structures of the open market. So we have short moves that open here. We have extended moves that open, extended moves later in the day. To me, short moves are essentially just kind of like one leg in the morning. Extended moves it has the initial leg and then it has a second or third leg after that. Extended moves later in the day, just moves that are happening later in the day. So if we kind of look at, well, first we're going to go over the numbers. So 5 are short, 4 are extended, and 2 move later in the day. So a lot of the times, like we said earlier, we have an initial push, we have consolidation around like 10:30, and then a push again. So this is why we're getting the extended moves. This would be an extended move where we have a push up, we hold a level, and then we push again. Extended moves kind of start down here, and then they push later in the day. We don't see this as much, especially in this market. So most stocks with small pushes that open tend to fade, and then there's a decent amount of stocks that still have extended moves in this market. And then again, we're targeting early morning moves. Here an example of a move that's short at open. So we can see here, this is just straight up and then down. So to me, this is it's a big move, but it's a short move, as in there's only one leg, in my opinion. This one is tough. I don't really know how to classify this one. To me, this is kind of all one, but because it starts low and then goes, I don't know. This one's a little difficult. This one's just a short move at open. We have one move. If this were to push to here and then come down, I would say this is extended, but because we double top, that doesn't really count. Again, this one tried to me, it's kind of a double top. I'm looking for an extension past that first leg. So an example of this would be, we're down here, we push back up, we push back up. This is continual pushing for mints. SRFM, we push up, we come back down, and then we break it and go up again. Another example, XXG. This could also be a short move at open, but this flag here, when we're kind of waiting and then we're pushing again. TWG, another example of this. Moves later in the day, so we're starting here and then pushing on JTI. This one could be classified as extended, but to me, this move is starting here. We're basically at open price and then pushing. So again, everything's kind of up to interpretation, but you're never going to get it perfect anyways. So we're just kind of trying to understand it as best as possible. So that is it for the bullish tickers. Again, I think the major thing is to trade early in the morning for that first push, and then kind of keep looking for a second extended push later in the day.